Hi everyone, welcome back. Very early in the week for an upload, very late in the day, apologies for the lighting. But I wanted to get this up today because it wouldn't make sense to put it up on any other day, because today is my 10-year recovery anniversary, and there is nowhere else I'd rather talk about it and no one else I'd rather talk about it with than you guys, because we've been doing this together for a decade, which is wild, amazing, but quite surreal. It's additionally surreal because around this time of year, there's a video that I tend to go back and watch, which I made really early on when this space was really just a diary to use after my therapy sessions or to vent or to try to get some motivation going. And it was a particularly tough day I was having where I was not feeling motivated. I couldn't see the point of recovering. I thought I'd ruined my life, that I would never have joy or connection or success, that my mental illness had just ruined my life. And I had this throwaway line where I was like, look, I'll keep going, but it's on like the tiniest fumes of hope that in 10 or 20 years, this will, be worthwhile. And I can tell that I don't believe it, that I'm putting that number out there because it seems so unlikely or impossible. And it's 10 years later. And that work that I did back then didn't just mean that I could recover, which I am grateful for in and of itself. But so much has happened over the last 10 years that this year I am grateful, not just that I don't have an eating disorder anymore. Don't get me wrong, that's great. But that everything I learned then has kept me safe in the 10 years since. Not just because life has been wonderful. At times it has been. It currently is. I have never wanted to portray that recovery just made my life perfect and it made me perfect and I cope perfectly and I am impervious to all bad feelings. I hope that I am the opposite of that example. It is why, in a way that I have felt comfortable, I have tried to share some of the darkest moments of my life since I recovered. Grief, trauma, having to walk away from unhealthy situations in very painful circumstances, having to put that hope again out there as my only thing to cling on to, that all of this would have meaning, that it would pass, that I would come back to a place of joy and connection and purpose and happiness. I only could do that the last few years because of everything I learned 10 years ago. That's why I'm always saying we may recover from our eating disorders, we do not recover from being human. And what I did 10 years ago that I didn't know until I needed it was build myself a life raft that I could get back into and hold on like hell and wait for what felt like an endless storm, just relentless, terrible, terrible life circumstances, wait for that to pass and for that life raft to keep me safe enough to be able to fully participate in my life again when it was good. As much as I have shared what I'm comfortable sharing to try to give that insight the last few years, now from a place of happiness and contentment and purpose and all that stuff I was holding on like hell for, I can't say with total confidence that I would have survived the last few years if not for all that work that I did 10 years ago. It's why I am so adamant about making it clear that recovery does not just have to be about the food, going out to lunch. All that stuff is great. All that stuff is great. But if that is the limit of what you're getting out of recovery, I hope that you can see it as something more than that. That you can see it as an opportunity to change your relationship with yourself, how you help seek, how you hold to your boundaries, how you tether yourself to whatever is floating to get you through whatever season is throwing you around in the middle of the ocean without land in sight. Apologies for all the metaphors. It's probably not the last one. And I am incredibly grateful to all of you, to the people in my life, that I have not had to do any of this alone. That's part of how I ended up with an eating disorder in the first place. I thought I had to do everything alone. It didn't count if I didn't do it on my own. It didn't count if I had to ask for help. It didn't count if I did it with others. Everything that I have achieved or enjoyed in my life since going into recovery has been with other people, bringing other people into my recovery, celebrating it with them, sharing it with all of you, having the privilege of you sharing it with me, the mentors that I've been able to have in my life, the team that I've built at my business, this amazing business I've been able to build, the incredible employees there, that we've been able to build this together. I'm so incredibly grateful for what doing this together brought me. I know I didn't do it by myself. I know all the opportunities that I've been given, I didn't do it by myself. It wouldn't have been worth doing if I hadn't done it with all of you, and the people in my life who maybe initially didn't get it. Maybe initially were like, what if one of your employers finds this channel? None of this would have been fun or, I think, worth doing if not for how it was shared and what we've been able to build. I'm very sorry this is rambly. Just wanted to come and, like I said, share this day with you, mark it in some way, say thank you. Just, that's really the crux of it, is thank you. Thank you for allowing me to hopefully pay forward what this community gave me. And I can't tell you how abnormal it is to have such a kind and supportive community. Like, I don't think you understand. Just go and look through the comment sections. Like, I don't delete really any comments. I don't censor really any comments. This is an amazing community. It is amazing. This doesn't happen in terms of like the caliber of people, like the level of kindness and compassion. And what I think that demonstrates is, if you can give that to me and each other, not only can you give it to yourself, you should. So, thank you. I will never be able to tell you what it means to me. Maybe next year I'll figure out a way to put it into words, but I think it goes beyond words. Thank you for everything you have given me. Thank you.
Just remember, there was once a younger version of you that didn't think you'd make it here to today. But they're looking at you now, very proud and very thankful. Keep going.